So the other thing that I'm going to show you is how to grow plants from kitchen scraps. So here I've got a potato, obviously a very old potato. Some of you will be used to the fact that if you've got one of those potatoes that's hanging around at the back of a cupboard somewhere, that it starts sprouting these little shoots off it and starts looking a bit shriveled up. Instead of throwing it away, why not get a container, a lot of compost, and bury it deep down. You want to have, you know, a good sort of 50-60 centimeters above it of compost, and that will start growing you a nice crop of potatoes. So that's one idea that you could be doing. You could also get this. Some of you might actually recognize this, some of you might not so much. This is ginger, and basically the ginger that you use is just a root. So you might want to just take a section that you've got in the fridge, take it out for a little while, put it into some compost and start growing. It'll start growing lots of shoots, and once all the shoots die down, you can dig it up again and you've got more root there to use for your cooking. And there are another range, quite a number of different types of foodstuffs you can do this with. And if you look at the different flyers that we've got that also came with the announcements for this week, we give you ideas of how to do this with carrots, how to do this with, you know, a range of different root vegetables, plus how to do it with leeks, scallions, and garlic as well. So there's quite a number there. You can also do replant this. This is the bottom of a pak choi, which is a cabbage, oriental cabbage, and I don't know whether you'll be able to see properly, but because I have just chopped the top of this off, it has actually now started to grow lots of shoots in it. So if you were to plant that into the ground again, it would start growing more little pak choi cabbages that you'd be able to keep cutting from. So that's some of the things that you can grow from the crops. The other thing is seeds from scraps. And if you think about some of the things that you eat every day in your kitchen, well, I hope you eat every day on a nice healthy rounded diet. You can use things like peppers. Once you finish chopping up your pepper, instead of throwing that top of your pepper away with all those seeds in, put it on your windowsill to dry out, and then once it's dried out, take each of those little seeds and put it into the compost in one of your snazzy containers that you will have made for the first challenge, and keep watering it and grow it, and put it onto a nice warm windowsill, sunny windowsill, and you will find that you will get some nice pepper plants. The same works for a wide range like chilies. Obviously be careful with chilies because the seeds are the really spicy bit, and if you touch them without gloves on, you'll often find that you end up then rubbing your eye and getting a watery eye. So it works for those though, chilies. It works also for tomatoes. So again, anything that you eat that has seeds in it. I've taken these out of a butternut squash, dried them, and now they are ready for me to plant. If you've got beans like peas that you want to use, but you don't, and you've bought them in the pod but you don't want to use all of them, if you just leave the peas out and dry those slightly, you'll find that you'll be able to plant them, because a lot of what you're eating is actually the seeds of the plant, especially when it comes to beans and pulses.